Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video we have episode 3 of the youth only challenge, the hardest challenge in Football Manager. And guess what today is? It is youth intake day. Let's do it. So first things first, as you can see, we are 8th in Serie C, which is fantastic. We've only lost 8 times, but we have drawn 13 times. But that's not really a problem. That's really good because we've took some results, took some draws of teams that usually you'd expect us to lose to. But I'm showing the league table, obviously, for the part of the update. We are at the day where I've just got the youth intake. I haven't seen it yet, so you guys are going to see my genuine reaction to it. And I am not a very good liar. So if it's underwhelming, it will be very obvious to you that I've found it underwhelming. Obviously, I'll tell you that. I think that as well, obviously. But it's not something that I'm sort of like, right, I'm going to put this reaction on. And no, if it's bad, you'll see it. So we've got 4 games left of the season. We are only 2 points inside the playoffs. Unfortunately, Lucchese decided to be really good, and there's one spot outside the playoffs that won't make it out of teams that probably deserve it. So there's like a mini league, right? You can see. So there's a mini league of 3 at the top with Ascoli, Spezia, and Juventus under 23s, and then there's sort of like a 3-team second league here with Entella, Gubbio, Perugia, and then there's another 5-team mini league here with Spal, Us, Ancona, Vispesaro and Lucchese, and then there's another league down here, right? And we might miss out because there's 1 too many. There's 11 for 10 spots, should we call it? So we'll see how that goes. Firstly, we're going to look at the youth intake, but before that, I got a few things to talk about. The first one I want to speak about is the coaching badge situation. So as you know, part of the rules of this save is that you need to have a Sunday League reputation, which is the worst one, obviously, and no coaching badges. So it's the double whammy. And as you can see, the attributes of my manager isn't very good right now. But I have asked the chairman a couple of times for new coaching courses, and every time he says something along the lines of, I don't want you to get too good because other teams might come and take you. Now, I know that's a sort of a compliment, but when I sort of want to improve my manager to then be able to not move, but get my players' relationships with me a bit better so I can sort of influence them more in team talks and interactions, and also be a better coach for them inside training. Now, there's obviously an option for that, is there? Because Football Manager being Football Manager. But it's very frustrating because he's not going to let me do it. Now, I don't know if he changes that at the end of the season. Maybe after we've had a good season, he might think differently. Or I might have to just wait for a takeover. But at the moment, I'm stuck a little bit on this side of things. So if anyone's asking, I am at no further forward. And I've asked about 3 times this season if I can have a new contract. And every time he said no. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the financial situation. So as you can see, we're 121, nearly 122k in debt. Now that's been steadily going down as the season's gone on. And I'll tell you the reason for that in a second. But if you look at the projection, we are scheduled to go in a couple of years down to minus 1.37. Now, that's not that bad. It looks really bad, but in 2 years' time, a lot can happen. And actually, that projection can change. And it changes day by day anyway. The main reason why it's going down is player wages. Now, in Serie C, and I think Serie B and Serie A, I think there's I know in Serie C anyway, there's a minimum wage requirement. If I look at the rules, I don't know why I'm on stats. We look at the rules, it is down here. And it says, where are we? £450 per week minimum wage for full-time players. So, if I show you the players here, and the wages, obviously, these were the youth contracts, and I've not given them professional contracts because they're not very good, and they're not going to become very good. But yeah, so this guy's on 350. I think that's his contract from when they're in Serie D. Obviously, these guys have had a renewal, so they've got to have 450. There's a guy there on 850, 800, but I'm keeping those guys because they're very good for us. But I need to be very choosy with who I give professional contracts to. So I'm going to be very harsh with this. For example, I don't know, players like Albieri. Now, he's got 4.5-star potential as a goalkeeper, but my goalkeeper is already quite young, wherever he is. Biagini, this guy, he's 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, he's 21. So unless I get a good keeper coming through, he's likely to be my keeper for a good number of years. So as much as this guy's got good potential, Albieri, he's probably going to get moved on because he's not that good. I've got another goalkeeper and I'll probably be able to find a buyer for him. So I'm going to do a few things like that where I need to, like for example, Bresciani here. I might not get rid of him, but he's someone on the chopping block if we get a good left back in this intake. where he's on £450 a week and he's not justifying it at all because he's not very good and he doesn't play. So I thought I'd bring your attention to those two things firstly before we check the intake out. But yeah, for us to get extra better facilities and improve all the facilities to get better players to get out of this division, I'm going to need to sort out this situation because every time I ask for an upgrade, rightfully so, the chairman says no again. He says no all the time apparently. But yeah. So they're the two things I wanted to address before. Another thing on top of that, as I just touched on slightly, a few people in the comment section did say, why have you not shown us any of the players that you've got already, youngsters? The truth is, none of them are good enough. So, for example, these guys aren't Nugents. Fancelli, I showed you initially, 5-star players. This guy's 17, Guglielmo Galli. He's the closest to becoming good enough, but as you can see, he's not very good. Low determination, personality doesn't help. His composure, decision-making, concentration, and he's just not very good to the point where I don't need him and I don't need to use him. I'm likely going to get someone in an intake very soon who's going to surpass him as soon as he comes out of the intake anyway. So don't worry, there's no one here that's a world beater that I've not shown you guys. The next guy after that is probably Mabshua here. Again, low determination, 4 tackling for a left back. I'm not showing you people. As anyone that's remotely interested that I need to show you guys, you will know about them instantly. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind, please hit the subscribe button on the channel. That would be absolutely amazing. Show your support. That would be so appreciative from me. We have got close to 4,000 subscribers, but there's 70% of people watching these videos that aren't subscribed. So please just pause the video right now, scroll down, hit the subscribe button, and honestly, you will make a man very, 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 very happy. And you've done a good deed for the day, so get that done. Right, let's have a look at this. This could be absolutely amazing. It's probably not going to be. Let's just remind ourselves, well, we can't do that actually, because I was going to say let's have a look at the preview, but it won't show me the preview. It will show me the players. But we had 2 A ratings, I'm pretty sure, on the preview. I'll put it on the screen now as I'm speaking. So, right, okay. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Is that 7? 7 elite talents? Oh my god, I can see a goal. Oh, even 4 top talents. Right, okay, I didn't expect it to be that good. So, you know, before when I said about my reaction, as you can see there, I'm quite happy. Let's go and have a look at the players. Right, here we are in the squad screen. So, I've set up my youth team view. I put that in the description below. If you guys want this, if you like the look of it, I'll just explain it real quick. So, I've got obviously their names, the nationality, and his second nationalities. I thought that might be quite cool. Their age, their height, their birth city. So, you guys can see if they were born in the city or close by if you want to do a bit of digging in your saves. So a lot of people like to play quite in depth. We've got the position that they play in, their ability, their potential, which I've sorted by their potential. So the worst players that aren't going to be signed at the bottom. So my cam box just here isn't getting anyone in his way, right? And then we've got what determination they've got. So obviously I want to see if they're easily close to be moulded into a good personality. So for example, the guy at the top, balanced, which sometimes isn't a great personality, but he's got 13 determination, so there'll be a couple of determination points there away from potentially going into a better personality. If that was like 4 determination and balanced, I'd be a little bit worried, but 13 is a good sign. So the top 5 players there, the 5-star players, no one's got less than 12 determination, which is absolutely more than I could have ever asked for. It's amazing. And then we've got the training focus, so obviously if once they've signed up, we can easily change which focus we want to use them on. Also, it sort of makes you remember to change their focus every now and again as you're checking up on them. I've got their training rating, see who's training properly, see if I need to tell anyone to book their ideas up. Personality, which is probably the most important one. Balance there. Driven, which is amazing. Fickle, which is not too bad. It's good ambition, but low loyalty, which might be a problem. If the Francesco Fino is really good. Sporting, balanced, all that good stuff, right? And then we've got the media handling style, which we can also sort of glean a little bit of information on. So like outspoken is like a bit higher in controversy, I think anyway. I'm pretty sure like volatile and confrontational is not good, but it's not the work. It's not the be all and end all, but it's just sort of little things that you can pick up. Again, I've got a personality guide that someone did a couple of years back. I'll put that in the description below as well if you guys want to see what those things might mean. And then obviously we've got the transfer value once they sign to see what their value is. Right. Let's have a look at the first one though. Let's have a look. Let's start from Loris Canova. Right. This guy's got. I don't think I'm going to sign anyone for lower than that because, like I said before, I'm going to have to give them probably £450 at the minimum. And this guy is 1-star current ability, wing back left, balanced. So he's probably going to be maybe not signed. But let's have a look at him. So initially, I see a lot of areas that look really bad to start with, right? He looks really terrible. But if you just quickly have a look underneath that, if he had, like, say, like a resolute personality, I'd be excited by this guy. Just because even the low-end stats that he has got, like dribbling 6 as a left wing back, 6 is easily turned into a 10, which is fine in Serie C. Composure 6, concentration 6. Yeah, they're not great, but there's no like 4s and 2s and 3s and 1s. Tackling 10, technique 9. His physicals, nothing's below 6, which is strength, and that's fine because he's only 5'6" and 15. That will improve. So I'm not sure what to do with this guy. I think I'm going to sign him because I don't have any left backs in the first team. I'm currently playing a centre back out there, and this guy might surprise me. He might just fly, and I might be really glad I got him in. And because I'm really light on left backs, which I will retrain him to a left back, so we don't play with wing backs, I'm going to sign Loris Canova up. But let's have a look at Brian Tagione, who is a 16-year-old, again, left back / left midfielder, 8 determination, but this time he's got 1.5-star current ability, and he's got a fairly loyal personality. So let's have a look at Brian. Right, okay. See straight away he does have a few issues that the other guy didn't have. He's better to start with, but I'm seeing 4 anticipation, and I'm seeing 3 off the ball. Technique's okay. I don't mind him. He's not bad. I'm definitely going to sign him up. All these guys now above Canova, I'm going to sign up. He's going to need a bit more work. I don't like the flair because I was thinking maybe I could play him left midfield, but his flair's only 4. I think he's probably going to be a left back as well. Him and Canova might be quite similar. He's all right. He's okay. We've got something to work with, right? He's not going to be one of the better ones, but it's not bad. I'll take him. Idris Adebayo. Now, this guy is Nigerian. He's one of 2 players with Gabriel Vantagiato there who are, well, second nationality Italian, but this guy's Nigerian. So he's a striker and a left winger, which I'm quite excited about because I don't have any other left wingers. Let's have a look at Adebayo. Straight away, we're looking at a guy that's quite slow. 5 acceleration, 5 stamina, not great, but he's a bit of a taller guy, isn't he? 15 first touch, he's quite technically good. 11 composure, 12 flair, 12 jumping reach, 12 balance, 13 passing. Again, if we're looking at these players as blank canvases, I could have done a lot worse than him. A lot worse. Obviously, straight away, I'm going to train his acceleration. I need that up. Stamina and strength are a little bit of a worry, but at 15 years old, these players improve quite quickly physically because that is, in the early parts of their career, that's what's happening, right? With your puberty, and you don't need to know all that stuff. But you get what I'm saying, right? Straight away, physicals do improve the most. So Adebayo, I'm quite happy with him. I'm not going to lie. Now, at the minute, I am playing with an advanced forward. He won't be able to do that. But I'm just wondering if maybe he could play off the left as more of a wide target man type. Maybe like an inside forward because he's got 7 finishing. And we maybe aim crosses to the back post for the big guy at the back stick. Left footed as well, which is quite nice, quite different. I'm not too dishappy with it. Dishappy? I'm not too unhappy. Angelo Corelli, 15-year-old goalkeeper. He's only 1-star current ability, 12 determination, which is nice. Only a balanced personality, but again, let's have a look at him. Okay. 14 reflexes straight away, which I'm looking at. 1-on-1s, which is 5, and handling, which is 4. That's a bit rough. Now, I don't think this guy's going to do too much, even though he's 5-star potential, because of 4 anticipation, 4 positioning, 4 balance, which is quite handy for a goalkeeper, 5 1-on-1s, and 4 handling. That's like 4 areas there that is going to be a struggle. And if we remember from the start of the video, my goalkeeper is actually quite good, and he's only 21, so it's going to have to be quite a good goalkeeper that comes through and takes his spot. So Corelli, I'm going to sign him because he's 5-star, and I want to see where he goes. But at the moment, he's probably the least exciting one out of the lot so far, even though he's got 5-star potential, which is crazy. But you'll see as we go on, personality is actually bigger than anything in the intakes, because personality of the players, if they've got a good personality, within 6 months of a season, if you play them solid, they can become from your youth player to one of your best players. So yeah, we're just going to see where he goes. It's all right. He's not too bad. I could have asked for worse. Next one is Francesco Gagiulo. 16-year-old, 5'8", defensive midfielder, but can also play on the left-hand side, which is nice. Fairly sporting, which is okay. 13 determination again. Let's have a look at this guy. Don't mind him either. Very good mental attributes. 3 concentration and 4 anticipation. A little bit worrying, but everything else is quite good. Even the ones at the bottom in the middle here, work rate 8, vision 9, teamwork 8, they're absolutely fine. Physicals lacking a little bit, but again, that's to be expected as a 16-year-old. 13 technique, 12 first touch. Probably going to be central midfielder, which is probably what he's best at. Definitely signing him up. Signing all these guys up now that we're looking at. But yeah. 3 marking, which he can't be a defensive midfielder with that. Again, decent amount to work with. Absolutely fine. Now we get into the good ones, it looks like, especially the top 2. We've got Francesco Fino, or Fino, I don't know which one that is. Fickle personality, so this guy will improve, but his loyalty is slightly low. He's 15. Let's have a look at him. Okay, again, 3 acceleration. I don't know if there's a problem with the youth players in terms of their physicals. I don't know if that's an issue, but we are seeing that quite a lot. 4 agility, which is not fantastic. Some good attributes, some bad attributes. We can make decent players out of all these last 4 or 5 guys, I think. There's a bit to work with here. Remember, my team aren't amazing as it is, but 15 finishing, 14 flair, 13 decision making, 14 technique and 14 work rate, 15 is pretty decent. So that's Francesco. Now we're on to Gabriel Vantagiato, and he's a Venezuelan guy. Now this guy can play all across the front three spots, and striker and attacker. Yeah, basically anywhere up front. 18 determination, driven personality. This guy's probably going to be the best one of the lot. Let's have a look at him. 1.5-star current ability. Yeah, you can see it almost instantly, right? His physicals for a 16-year-old are very, very, very acceptable. A lot of them at least 10 already. 6 foot, good flair on top of that. 15 passing, 15 technique. This guy I'm excited about. I do think that this guy is going to rotate between striker and left midfield, just because I don't have a left midfielder. So obviously get that acceleration up. I like him a lot. He's very, very, very good, and he will play a lot of minutes next year. So we'll be having a look at this guy next season quite a lot. And then Lorenzo Rossi is the last one. Balanced personality. But again, like I said, 13 determination, 1.5-star current ability. Let's have a look at him. Yeah, happy with him too. Again, physical's very good. But tackling 9, technique 9, passing 9, that's good. That's fine. He's going to probably be the backup defensive midfielder or a backup box-to-box midfielder, I think. His best role, apparently, currently by his attributes, a ball winner, and that is quite close-ish to a box-to-box midfielder. It's a bit more attacking, but I do like the spread of his mental attributes. There's nothing really that's poor, apart from his leadership and his flair. And his flair he doesn't need, and his leadership will improve with age. So I'm quite happy with him too. That, all in all, I would say is, for a first season, by the way, I would say that is a solid 8 out of 10. Don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. That's all the contracts offered out. Obviously, when they accept those contracts, then what we're going to do is we're going to set them up with a training sort of a plan, but we're going to see what roles they sort of fit, what roles they will play in our youth team, and obviously which additional focuses and things we want to train them in to get the best out of them. Now all the players are signed up to contracts. We're going to look at their training, but I noticed something that I didn't notice the first time, and I thought I'd bring your attention to it, guys, if you didn't notice it. But it says, our annual youth candidate intake has arrived for assessment. Whisper it quietly, but this could be a so-called golden generation, with Gabriel Vantagiato, the diamond in a very strong group of players. Now, obviously, Gabriel Vantagiato is our Venezuelan guy, but we got a golden generation. technically confirmed golden generation. So they are real, and we got one. Right, let's get into their training. I also signed this guy up as well as like a late decision after I recorded that part, because I saw he's got decent attributes, he's got good mentals, decent physicals, and he's not too bad everywhere. Now I thought I'll take a punt on him. If he doesn't make it, which he might not, but he might, he could play in a few different positions for me. And I'm quite struggling down that left-hand side. So I thought I'll get him in. Mercenary personality, again, not the best, not the worst. Could be a lot worse. Unambitious is really bad. But I thought I'll get him in because also potential ability ratings can change depending on like if you get better staff in or your staff get used to the players around the place and sort of get a better, rather than like a first glimpse, a first view, a first impression, they sort of get a bit more rounded opinion as they've been at the club longer. So this guy might change to 4-star potential. I've seen some players start at 3.5 like him and go to 4.5. I've seen like a star fluctuations either way. So he might stay exactly at 3.5. He might get worse potential-wise, but I'll take a chance on him because I'm getting rid of a few players at the end of the season, and I can also get rid of him if he doesn't make it. And I'm quite light on the left-hand side. Right, let's do this. So, in fact, we'll go back to Chiapara, and we'll go with him, and we'll have a look at his development, and we'll see what we want to do with him. So, I think a good spot with him is just where he plays, which is left mid for us. And we do play with an inverted winger, but do you know what? No, we're gonna use the role that we use in the tactic. So we are gonna give him a double intensity because I want him to work his ass off to get good enough for the team. At additional focus, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking he's off the ball, he's low, and his anticipation is low. So straight away to me that says attacking movement, right? Because look, off the ball, anticipation. Also, it does decision making, which is 8, which is always good. You can never have too high of a decision making. So for him, attacking movement is very, very useful. Obviously, we don't need to worry that much about physicals to start with unless it's really low. His agility could do with a bit of work, but after this, we'll probably go to his agility. But for now, I think Chiapara, that is really good for him. So he's working on that. Next, we have Canova, the wing-back left. Now, first of all, I'm going to retrain him to our left-back position. We do play with a full-back, because that's only because we have only got a full-back. He's basically a centre-back. But going forward, I do want to play with wing-backs. So I'm going to go wing-back support. And then looking at him, I think I want to work on his, I think, defensive positioning. 6 marking is quite low for a left-back. So I'm going to make it work on his marking and his positioning and his decisions. I think that's quite good. Again, though, we're going to go up to double intensity. No problem. Just to start with, see what happens. Canova's nice and done there. Brian Taglioni, he's another left-hand sided player. So we are actually we've got a lot of left-hand sided players, which is good though because we're really lacking. I had to retrain a striker to left midfield, and I've got a centre back at left back. So we've actually got no one who can play on the left-hand side. So we've got a good amount here. This guy is looking like a left back to me. I'm pretty certain of that. I think he's just a left back, right? 3 off the ball. He can't be a midfielder, I don't think. Wing-back support, 1.5 star. This guy will probably get a fair bit of game time next year. Again, though, off the ball 3, anticipation 4, the same as the last guy. So I'm going to work on his attacking movement. And again, we're going to go to double intensity. I think that's quite good for him. We should hopefully see anticipation and off the ball improve quite a lot. Physicals are already quite good too. So this guy might see some football next year. I've got a feeling he will. He will be a sub in a lot of games as well. So we're going to definitely look to improve him. He's going to be our starting left back, I think, eventually. Idris Adebayo. What do we say about this guy? Yeah, we said he's quite slow, didn't we? And because he plays in a position that requires pace and we're going to be quite a counter-attacking team for a while, I think straight away we work on his quickness. I think that's just the right thing to do. In terms of role for him, I think we're just going to go advanced forward to start with because that's what we use. At the moment, I don't think he's good enough yet to change that role. If he does, if he becomes a brilliant deep line forward, then we will absolutely incorporate that in. But for now, I'm going to try and make him a bit quicker, a bit more of an all-rounded guy. Because he's got the technicals, he's absolutely fine that way. Just need the physicals. So next we have Christian Bianco. Now he came through last year and he's 5-star potential, but for the same reason as the other one I mentioned, I'm gonna make sure actually he goes into the under 20s. Sorry. He is already been training. He's been trained in what I want him to do, and he's got a good training rating, so that's really good. So I'm just going to move him slightly because I don't think he's going to make it, because my goalkeeper, like I said before, he's 21 years old and he's quite good. On the off chance that he does, though, I'm just going to move him up, so then he plays in the under-20s, and where is he? Corelli, who we're looking at next, actually plays the under-18s. I don't want them to sort of stifle each other. Angelo Corelli is up next. Now, positioning is really low for him, so I think we need to look at that as a matter of urgency, but he's handling his one-on-ones as well. So let's have a look at the goalkeeper stuff, see what there is. So if we hover over it here, down here, we can see, can't we? So anticipation we do want to use, reflexes we don't, so that's not that one. So decision making is quite good, positioning is low, we could do with that, and his communication's okay. That's not needed. Command of areas, okay, 8. One-on-ones isn't with 5, and he's rushing out 5. I think with this guy, we're looking at... We need to make a decision. We need to make a decision. I think one-on-ones is the thing we need to figure out first. So I think we're going to do that, sweeping. This guy's going to need a lot of work. I don't think he's going to make it. We'll see. Francesco Gargiulo is a very weird one as well. Stamina only 4. I think he's just a midfielder, isn't he? I think I'm gonna go box to box, even though he's nowhere near a box to box at the moment, because it works quite a lot physically on a lot of areas. It does concentrate on a lot of areas that we need for him. Again, I am going to work on his pace, on his agility and his balance, actually. I need those two up. And then we're going to work on his pace. Physically, this guy needs a lot of work. Now, if it just so happens that eventually becomes a playmaker, that's absolutely fine as well. And he's just sort of a guy that strolls around picking passes, no problem as well. But for now, I like that. Oh, also, we're going to go double intensity. Francisco Fino is another centre midfielder lacking 3 acceleration is an absolute must to train straight away. Anything at 3 and he needs it, I've got to do that. So, again, I think this guy is more like a central midfield attack just because he's got 15 finishing. So, that is absolutely fine for him. Vantagiato, who I keep getting told is the best of the bunch. Now, we have got a good striker in Luis Enrique, who's picked up a lot of form. I think for now, just so I don't take anything away from his current ability, because if you retrain positions, it will take some of his current ability away. It won't take his potential ability away, just make him a bit worse to start with before he learns the new role. So we're going to go advance forward. I don't want to do that because he might look to be a left midfielder at some point. We're just going to work on that. And straight away, I think the first thing we work on is attacking movement, right? Anticipation, decision making, off the ball. Get those nice and high. And we're good. We've got high hopes for him, right? We've got double intensity as well. And the last but not least, Lorenzo Rossi. Centre midfielder, and I think I said this guy was going to be box to box as well, didn't I? Or did I say defensive midfield? Ooh, what did I say? I think I said defensive midfield. I think I'm going to go with defensive midfield because, again, I do want them all to play, all them fighting for positions, and there's not currently a defensive midfielder. So I am going to do that, and I'm going to work on his marking just in case he does that full time. So, I think for now, especially, that's okay. Obviously, we get to the end of the season. They'll have a break. They'll come back for pre-season. We'll see how they're getting on at the halfway point of next season. And hopefully, some of these guys might be a lot better. But that's going to be it, guys. I wanted to show you guys the players, how we're going to train them, how we're looking to incorporate them and have a plan for them early on. And the next episode is going to be the playoffs if we get into them. If we don't get in the playoffs, though, it will just be the second half of next season to see where we are, see where the players are, etc. I don't think we'll go up if we do get playoffs, but we've got to have a crack at it anyway, right? So thank you for watching, as always. Please hit the like and subscribe button and put the bell on as well to get notifications of when my videos go live. Thank you for watching, guys. And as always, I'll catch you then. Goodbye.